But anyway, but you are a musician.
Yes, I do. I have a jazz degree. It's gathering dust, but I'm still having fun.
Well, that's okay. I know somebody who has a music degree from Juilliard, a master's, and then went to NYU to get an MBA so she could make a living.
Oh, that's a pivot.
So your music degree is in what?
It's in jazz piano.
Isn't that impressive?
Yeah, jazz piano is impressive. So, how did you end up getting into the cookbook business and getting 11 million followers?
I stumbled into it. It was back in COVID days. Everyone was, we had far too much time on our hands. We were learning new things. Friends of mine learned how to knit, crochet, this, that, and the other. And I said, man, let's try something new. So I always had old cookbooks, and I was thumbing through them looking for something interesting. And you had fruit cakes, and you had, sponge cakes. And I came across a recipe called pork cake.
Pork cake?
And it literally had a pound of ground pork in it. It was a fruit cake with a pound of ground pork. And I said it tasted like a question mark. And it started the journey. I was hooked.
Well, you ended up with a New York Times bestseller. It was called Baking Yesteryear. And now we have Baking Across America, a vintage recipe road trip. It's a beautiful, beautiful book.
Thank you.
And I was out in the hall just telling you how beautifully put together it is. Your friends at Penguin Random House with the DK imprint.
Oh, yes.
They did a great job putting your book together like this. It's really, really great. So
you don't understand the importance of food porn and gin.
Well, I like old cookbooks, but old cookbooks don't necessarily very often have photos.
No, they're all typewriter font. They're all, but there's some nostalgia there.
Well, they're fascinating.
They are, but sometimes you can't recreate them. Sometimes they'll tell you to bake a cake, they'll list the ingredients, and they won't even tell you what temperature, what to bake it in, how long. So there's a lot of guesswork there, and that's what I like to work through.
Well, I have the settlement cookbook at home, and I have the Good Housekeeping cookbook. These are mid-20th century editions that I have. My sister sent me my mother's cookbook as a Christmas gift one year.
Mercy.
They're just fun to read.
Good Housekeeping. You've got good taste there. They really started to focus on pictures and making sure things looked beautiful. Of course, the color palette's all strange, and everyone's in cigarette smoke laden dresses. But there's some greatness to it.
Well, they also give you advice on how to throw a cocktail party, how to set the table if you're having a formal dinner party, stuff like that.
Back when they had 4 different forks and 4 different spoons. Oh,
so Big E and Trevor, they made stuff for your visit.
I can smell it.
From your cookbook. I didn't. Now, the whole idea is that you went all across the country to every state and found, baked things that were special in those states.
Yes.
Now, when I came here to New York a long time ago, I discovered these. I'd never, ever heard of them before. I didn't even know what it was.
Yes, the black and white.
Okay, so I bought that yesterday in the store.
So E and I slaved over, I don't bake, I cook.
Right.
And he's a barbecue master, and we figured out how to bake, and you went to the store after our big meeting on Friday?
Yeah, I went to the store, and which is what I do. And,
Jim's oven is actually a filing cabinet,
and
that's not a joke. There's actually papers in.
But I never heard, until I came to New York. I never heard of a black and white. I never saw a black and white. It shows that there, are these regional things.
They're fascinating, the black and white cookies. When they're this large, sometimes they go by the name of a half moon. And, they do things interesting here because if you'll notice, it's frosted on the wrong side. It's frosted on the flat side as opposed to, the top of the cookie's there when it bakes. So I
never realized that till just now.
Right?
Knowledge.
I never realized that the cookie was upside down.
Did you find out why the white part is lemon instead of vanilla? Because you'd think it would be vanilla, right? And it's not.
It's not. Well, this is an old school sort of powdered frosting. And if you don't add any flavor to it at all, it can become a bit powdery and bitter. So sometimes I think things like lemon, though it tastes good, it's just to hide up the fact that, there's a half pound of sugar in it.
Well, Dylan, we're going to actually try what Biggie and what Trevor put together. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, I need to know how, since I only met you once, I need to know how you managed to mind meld with my childhood. Okay? I've been living in New York City for 51 years, but I'm from Michigan. And without ever opening up your book, without even knowing your book exists, if someone were to say to me, well, on the subject of, like baked goods and confectionery and stuff like that, what would be your favorite from childhood as a Michigander? And I would say, bumpy cake and Mackinac Island fudge. And here's why. Because food and grandmothers represent love.
Yes.
One of my grandmothers was manager of a Sanders bakery shop in Detroit.
You're joking.
And Fred Sanders Bakery was the creator of the bumpy cake. And I love the bumpy cake.
This is incredible.
My other grandmother my other grandmother in the summer would take me on the Greyhound bus to Mackinac Island when I was a little boy.
Oh, yes.
To go on vacation and take me to the fudge shops on Main Street. And I would watch them bring it out and put the fudge on the table and cut it all up. Those are two things you got from my state of Michigan in your book.
I did my research and they look good. If I could eat Mackinac Island fudge until you have to roll me out of here, I could.
Well, actually, you don't even have to eat it. You just put it in your mouth and your body absorbs it.
This is interesting.
That is incredible. You have made my morning just with that story.
And how did you like our bumpy cake?
I think the bumpy cake teaches me that it's not, of course it tastes brilliant, but there's more to that.
Bumpy cake's a devil's food.
I was kind of wondering what
I was going to ask.
Perhaps we should
What
say,
makes the bumps?
You eat it and you get hives? What happens?
Yeah.
but there is a buttercream bump. So I mean, you make it. It's a sheet cake, and then you frost lines of buttercream, and they're sort of hard enough to register as a texture.
And there's like a chocolate fudgy frosting.
Getting diabetes just talking
This
about
is why I'm fat.
But what I love about it is that it tastes good, but it's if you took out the texture of the bumps, the buttercream bumps, it wouldn't be the same cake.
No, it'd just be a devil's food cake
But the fact of
with
it
a
is,
thick fudgy frosting.
it's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Can we get to the part where we eat now?
It's 13 after 8. We'll be right back with B. Dylan Hollis, Baking Across America, a vintage recipe road trip. By the way, in just a few minutes, I'll tell you how you can hang out with him if you want tomorrow. It's 8:19 here at Q104.3. B. Dylan Hollis, Baking Across America, vintage recipe road trip, brand new book from the New York Times best-selling author. And Shelley?
Yes, did you know it all comes together today? Dylan, is National Devil's Food Cake Day. All this talk of Devil's Food Cake, bumpy cake, today's the day.
Wow.
It's
Nicely
a big
produced.
day for it.
Well, I brought in, as I mentioned before, I went to the store yesterday and bought a black and white cookie. That's what I brought in. Big E and Trevor, they baked.
Our respective states, by the way.
Based on the recipes from the book.
Yes, I'm looking at them now. I can recognize one already. Here, this is the pie. This is a maple creamy pie from Vermont.
And Big E did that one.
I lived in Vermont. I lived in just outside of Brattleboro on the top of a mountain. And I'd never heard of maple creamy. I'd never heard of it. And these are throwback recipes, right? And
yeah.
So how far back does that go? Any idea?
Not very. I mean, compared to, me, born in 95, maple creamy is as an ice cream flavor.
Sure.
It's normally just sold as an ice cream. It's a maple ice cream. And not that old if you compare it to, say, the black and white cookie.
But I'll tell you, I mean, everybody in Vermont, if you have the tiniest stand of maple trees on your property, in March, April, you're tapping your trees because you can make an extra 10 grand. We had like a meeting with a bank president for advertising. He's like, oh, got to cancel. I got to, the sap's running.
I got to go get my...
So everybody has maple. and therefore, yeah.
Well, I want to taste this maple cream pie. And now this is Big E. You got to be looking at him. He's the author of the book. He's going to taste your bacon.
I did make the graham cracker crust myself, not the graham crackers themselves, but I should have bought one. I'll just say that.
It's wonderful. No,
And you can
don't.
hurt his feelings. We're fine with
please
it.
do.
Oh,
And I would. You've done a fantastic job. You know, the one thing that I don't like, you've gone the right way. I like a thick crust. The one thing I don't like is when you try and cut a pie and it all falls to bits because it's too thin.
this is really
man.
good, Biggie.
Oh man.
Look at that fresh.
Oh man.
Good heavens!
I got to make another one of these for the family.
You say you don't bake?
I don't. No. I'm all kinds of cooking, but I generally leave the desserts to other people.
I don't
guess
believe
what?
you. This is incredible.
Guess what? That's really
the
good.
one.
That's really good.
I mean, I might have the diabetes now.
The KitchenAid stand mixer
Yeah.
is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, and I never use it. And for this thing, boy, did I use it.
Wow. Okay, we have to.
All right. What's next?
We have to go on to Trevor, who baked two things.
Yes, Trevor.
From New Jersey, Black Magic.
All right, this is the Black Magic tomato cake. I grew up in Jersey my whole life, so I had to do the New Jersey one because, I mean, you tell the story better. Campbell's.
Yes, Campbell's is born of New Jersey.
Yeah, Camden.
So this is a chocolate cake with a whole can of Campbell's tomato soup in it.
Really?
Wow.
That sounds pretty weird.
Doesn't it?
And enjoy, everyone.
Let's see how it tastes. It looks.
Here we are.
It looks good.
Doesn't it? Very nice and glossy.
It was so light and fluffy, and I couldn't believe it.
Trevor, you've done it again. Trev, that's wonderful.
My
Isn't it
goodness.
soft?
My
Do you
goodness.
taste the tomato?
No.
No,
Jim.
you smell the tomato.
I say it's an inclination.
Yeah.
It sneaks up on you.
You know how
Huh.
you put apple cider in things, and it's an apple cider donut, but you don't actually taste the apple cider.
No.
It just changes something about it.
Apple cider vinegar, lemon, we speaking about earlier, and also like tomato soup. It's an amplifier.
I couldn't believe how airy and light and fluffy this whole entire thing came
Okay.
out. And then the dish, Jim, nothing stuck.
I don't know.
It came right out.
I don't know how to explain this. But on first with this cake, on first contact with the tongue, I get about half a second of Campbell's tomato soup smell,
You're right.
but there's no
No, it's
taste,
chocolate.
there's no flavor.
No.
But when you first put it in, there's that when you take a little
A breath
Yeah.
through the nose. It's
Yeah.
like a velvet sort of cushion of soup.
Yeah, but
Write that down. Write that down.
but a
Next book.
good rainy day make you feel good soup.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who first had the idea? Of course, it was, the Campbell's company saying, how can we make as many people as possible buy soup?
So let's put it in our cake recipes.
But it was a good idea.
Now,
Okay.
the second item here, Jim, your palate is what you're a simple man.
It's terrifyingly orange.
And what did you have for your birthday? Didn't you have
Sloppy Joe's
and
Kraft macaroni and cheese.
and that's what you wanted for your birthday, and you got that.
And B&M baked beans.
So
It's my favorite meal. What's wrong with that?
Gourmet.
There's two other people whose favorite meal that is: fifth graders and people on death row. So, watching Dylan on TikTok, which you could follow him at.
B. Dylan Hollis.
See, he gets it already. This is sloppy bread, which is a cornbread with the main ingredient being
Sloppy Joe sauce.
Really?
A can of it.
Manwich?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Let's try this out.
Look how happy!
Let's try this one.
Come on, Jim.
Thanksgiving's about to be different.
God.
It's like a sloppy Joe.
As opposed to tomato cake, that is not subtle. There is nothing subtle about that. That is kablam.
It's acquired.
I
wonderful,
believe the direct quote from Dylan was, "Tastes like that little oven hood lamp looks."
Yes.
Shelley, it tastes like a sloppy Joe.
Wow.
It
well,
does.
I saw that the expression on your face was sheer
Enjoyment.
delight.
Wait, is this a vegan sloppy Joe? Did we just find?
There's eggs in it.
Oh,
Can't be vegan.
Did you use the sloppy
Yeah.
Joe
a
mix
vegetarian? Yeah. Is
Then
there
there's
meat in
it.
that?
Cornbread.
There's meat in the
in the
can.
can?
No.
There's
The cornbread
Vegan.
mix, I believe, is non-vegan.
Okay.
Well, it's not keto, that's for damn sure.
All right.
It's marvelous sloppy bread.
So this is from your
good
pal
grief.
Jim here.
Hi, Jim.
Okay. And I mean,
I'm bringing it. The kids will love this.
I love all three. But I've got to say, and I'm not just kissing the butt of my boss. The Vermont maple cream pie is go to the store and shell out money worthy.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I agree, and I made the other two.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so
And
good.
I got to tell you, it was so easy. It
Right.
was so easy. It's not even really baking. I mean, you bake the shell, right? But the rest of it's just
The rest of it is
it's an
no-bake.
icebox pie, and there's a
Exactly.
bunch of different ones of those. But this one, whew.
I love that you say icebox pie. That warms my heart.
Well, it's worth doing throwback. It's an icebox pie.
Okay, you have a chance to. I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Hollis regarding the 321 cornbread recipes.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, the 3-to-1 cornbread recipes. My favorite one is the manwich recipe. Ooh, but since then I've created my own.
Oh.
And it's 3 eggs, 2 boxes of Jiffy cornbread,
Oh, no.
and 2 Jiffy is from Chelsea, Michigan.
The Jiffy cornbread mix.
Yes.
Michigander.
Jiffy cornbread, 2 cans of hatch green chilies, and 2 packets of taco seasoning. It's sweet, savory, and spicy all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for the inspiration and for getting me into baking.
Marvelous.
Love your work.
Oh, that's marvelous. Thank you.
That's our text from listeners.
Okay,
Good idea.
so you can become personally acquainted with B. Dylan Hollis, who, don't call him B. Dylan, just say Dylan.
Just say Dylan.
At Barnes & Noble Union Square tomorrow at 6 p.m. And it's ticketed. It's a ticketed event.
Yes.
And each ticket includes a copy of this awesome book in a B&N Barnes & Noble exclusive edition.
Yeah.
Hear that? You can hear the quality of the cover.
It's a backup weapon.
Listen to that.
Yeah, you could hurt a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can hear it. Good binding, all
The
of
book
that.
item.
So you get a copy of the book signed, and you'll get a behind the scenes look at the making of Baking Across America, and there will be questions and answers and interaction, and a photo as well.
Yes.
A photo. So you'll have an autographed book. You'll have a photo with the author.
We'll hang out. We'll have a good time.
And that's, let's see, tomorrow, 6 p.m. How do people get the tickets?
Yes, so you can go through Barnes & Noble, or you can follow the links on my social media. They're right where you will expect them.
Okay, so let's go through the social media again. Instagram and TikTok is at B. Dylan Hollis.
That's me.
And YouTube is B. Dylan Hollis.
I keep it simple.
You think we would do this? We're kind of all over the place.
And you live out west,
Yes, out in Frosty, Wyoming.
and you're a jazz musician.
I'm all over the place.
Do you have an actual band you play?
No, I play community band. My musical ability is now vestigial. So I just gave a concert on crash cymbals for my community band locally. It was great. I was only off half of the hits.
And I believe you have a very awesome vehicle that you travel across from state to state with sometimes.
Ernest is on the front of the book. My
me.
daily driver, my 1963 Cadillac.
Wow.
Hold that up for me, Jim.
Hold the. That's his daily driver.
I named
No
him.
way.
I named him
That's
after
outstanding.
Ernest Tubb.
The Ernest Tubb Record Shop.
Yeah.
I went there when I was 15. It's across the street from the Ryman Auditorium.
Hey, Ernest Tubb. Great.
I thought it was in Ypsilanti.
No.
If this was MySpace, you guys be top 5 with each other. Jeez.
So remember,
that, Tom.
So remember, the big Barnes and Noble store at Union Square tomorrow, 6 p.m. The book is Baking Across America. I love the Vermont maple cream pie.
It's
Trevor, your stuff was good too.
No, that's okay. I understand.
Jim, there's half a pie here.
And I'll have to go back to Michigan to have some bumpy cake, or else have a friend send it to me.
You and I both.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for dropping by this morning.
Thank you.
It's 8.